such a huge storage capacity. This will fit all your boxing gloves, patamdo, whatever you want to put in here. One thing's good about this dummy is that the anatomically correct foot or leg. It's got a thigh, it's got a knee, calf, a foot. Most important is the foot. You're not going to get a dummy that has a foot. So what happens is that when you're normally using the dummy, when you're doing this move here and you transition from the left to the right, you don't realize that there's a foot there because most dummies just a stick like this and a stick like that, and there's plenty of room between the end of the stick and the floor. So what happens is you normally just go like this and your foot will go right under this area because there's nothing there. And then when you transition to this side, then your other foot will go right under this area where there's no foot. And then this is kind of the habit that you end up doing. So when I made this dummy, I do the transition as I usually do. I realize that I start tripping over this foot. Then I realize, oh, okay, people do have feet in real life, so that now this is more accurate to a real life foot and leg. Then you learn to go like this, and when you transition the other leg, you learn not to go straight. You learn to go around the leg to this side to attack. So that's one thing really good about this. It's more realistic. You also learn to stomp the feet because the foot is there, so a legitimate Wing Chun technique is to stomp the feet. And as I've already mentioned, the arms are nice and chunky. They're more realistic to the size of someone's arm. And them being 13 inches instead of 12 or 11 is a much better length because people don't have arms that short. With 12 and 11 inches, that's Cantonese sizes back 100 years ago, like I've said. And if you would put padding, and the arms would become even shorter. So these arms should be at least 13 inches. That's a good size for today's people. Don't put padding here if you're beginners. Only put padding after you've completed the entire dummy form. Why? Because if you put padding, people are going to focus their practice in hitting and hitting and hitting. They're not going to learn the proper way techniques for the arms. That's why in all schools you don't usually see people putting padding here, because if you want to learn to hit hard, we learn on the sandbag against the wall. We don't hit the dummy. That's why when the dummy is here, we don't usually put padding, is so that you can concentrate on the techniques around the arms. The way this mounting system works is that the dummy is freestanding. I just put some kind of rag or used blanket or a used carpet underneath. You could stick felt stickers or whatever you like, so that it actually moves about on the ground when you play. As you exert force, it actually moves. So it mimics a natural person because this thing does weigh about 135 pounds in total. And it moves and shimmies forward towards you as you play. Makes the dummy more livelier. It doesn't injure your arm when you put too much force. And when you do put force, you're actually moving an actual person's weight around. So that's a good training, and it mimics more of a realistic feeling. if you look on the inside, the linseed oil didn't really work as it dried up, so I put a plastic sheet inside the front of the dummy. Right there, this is the front of the dummy where the dummy meets the front board. I put a piece of plastic sheets. A plastic sheet that I got from a dual tank. And I put one also underneath the dummy. So this helps it really to pivot and slide very smoothly now. You might also want to put something here, maybe a rag, piece of cloth. On my other dummy, I put some magazines so that when it hits the back, it won't hit it so hard. It would have at least a soft landing when it hits the back.